hear me now. There it goes. What the fuck, man? So my mic just stopped working for no particular reason. I was locked in reading mode. Did you hear any of that? Well, anyway, Rebecca's fallen down. We don't know what's going on with her. Not a lick of it. All right, well, good. Well, either way, Rebecca fell down. We didn't find any remains to consecrate, so she's probably a fucking vampire or something. Who even knows? I don't know why we'd need to consecrate her. There's other stuff to look at. There's Microsoft Outlook. There's apparently hurricanes up here, but we appear to be in the mountains. There's also some sort of DCV cordon. Like, there's names and stuff. Like, what could it be? After DCV, shut down public access, the CPC offered to take over maintenance on the facilities in the area in exchange for granted the right to set up a long-term research installation on the old campgrounds. What are we researching? I don't know. We did learn at least this last time. There's a note here. What does it say? Who fucking knows? But here's Rebecca's ID card. She jumped off the edge, apparently. Not much more I can do at this point. I should head back to the station soon. Is there anything else to look at? The Kern talks about usually you're supposed to take down these Kerns before you leave. And she didn't, which is kind of weird. It says down there at the bottom, our work is done. Why wait? Bring your ID back. This game's also has no music. It does have very faint sound effects. I should probably turn up the volume for you folks. And I just made probably the critical error of tabbing out of the window. But I'm going to turn up the sound anyway. Hopefully this... Good. Okay. It did stay up at the right level. How did I get out of here before? Not eject the desktop. Let's not do that. This is our option screen, which I'm sure you Mac users of the past will love. We have a notebook, which I don't think we can actually open here. How do I close this? I thought it was... Okay, it was Alt. That's right. Yeah, I can't open my notebook, so we do not have a notebook. You have a valley running through here. You have to really use your imagination for this game. Falling leaves. And just utter quiet. Now, when I originally played this game on stream, we just wandered around here outside forever. We didn't really find anything to do because it's so hard to see. We set up a camera trap on one of these trees a while back. I should pull the data while I'm here. See if I can pick Reb up on her way back. All right. So we do have like devices. This one's indicating that that trail cam she was talking about is around here. From prior experience, I know where it is. Yes, game. Thank you. So let's open her up. Lots of things you can do here. You can turn it on, off. There's a menu. I don't need to touch that. I best not mess with that. There's an up button, a down button, just in case we ever got into the menu. We just want to take the data off it, though. Come on, data. Download. Even though this is a Mac game in spirit, it looks like we have, Windows-style drive names on there. My immersion. Go and get out of that. Is there anything to look at over here? That looks like a big round rock with like a nodule on it. I'm not sure what's up with that. Can I see the trail cam? No. I can kind of make it out there. There's like the lens of it, and there's the box of it. It was so fucking hard to see. So when you get down to this screen, is there any indication of where you can go? Any indication at all? There isn't. But if you go down this way, we might as well go on a little trip. Why not? We might as well. We didn't experience this yet in this particular universe, but we'll go on a little walk. You can see more of the gorge over here. It is a very pretty game for something that's just black and white and this terrible aberration nonsense that we see on the sides. It's easy to lose track of your character, by the way. So you can go around here. just take a look at some of these sites. We'll see if what happens last time happens this time. That's one thing that intrigues me about this game, because it seems inconsistent. It might just be me. Because when I played off camera after that initial stream, like it didn't happen. Some nice, lovely water here. We can hear ourselves splish-splashing all over it. It shouldn't allow me to go any further right here. These fucking visuals, though, they fuck up my head. Sun setting, better head back. Is the sun setting? Looks at watch. It's 11 o'clock. Not at night. So that indicates either we're... Inspect microphone. What the fuck? I didn't find this last time. See, this is what intrigues me with this game. I don't know what I'm looking at. I get energizers in there. No way to tell which one's spent without a meter. Okay. Cool. What could it fucking mean? Oh, it does detect that one. Nice. And just in case you don't know how this works, it beats faster as you get closer. The squinting does help. Well, what happened the first time is it, like, immediately started fucking raining when I got to the edge of the screen there. But maybe we were at a different time of the day. And then, when it starts raining in this game, you can't see jack shit. It's a pretty realistic rain effect, actually. And when I mean anything, I mean, like, when you go over here to this menu, you cannot read the menu whenever you're in there. Which is a game choice. Let's use our sensor a little bit more. Anyway, let's head down one screen. I'm going to use my sensor, and then we'll come back up to this one. Oh, the excitement, the romance, the danger, the mystery. So I'm saying, okay, so you can't go any further that way. I don't know how the fuck I missed this the first time. I just must be really fucking stupid. Which is possible, and this game is also purposely obtuse, I dare say. So I think the first time when I did, I must have gone up a couple of screens. Because what you're going to see here is, we're just going to head left. We're just going to head left. We're down one screen from, I think we're down one screen from the camera, right? No, this is the one we want. It may not look like it, but this is a path here. It is a small clearing in the trees, but it's not visually obvious, like a lot of things in this game. As far as I've seen, there's not really a whole lot to look at other than that first screen. Until we get to a certain place, you'll see. Come on. Look at all this bullshit. If you were here for the original broadcast, how did we not run into this? How did we not run into this? This is the station that we wanted to get to. Well, here's home, at least as close as I'll get to one out here. There's still enough light left to be able to take one more look around in case I missed something. I doubt it'll make much difference, but I don't know. I feel like I have to do something. Maybe I should just call it and get some rest. God only knows how much harder things are going to get from here on out. So we could go in there. I actually don't want to go in there just yet. Do we have anything on the screen? No. We head down here. There's even more stuff. So, like, I'm doubly confused. How the fuck I missed all this? Oh, yeah. By the way, we can also change our color palette. If you want to look like a Game Boy or anything else, you can do so. But we have some things on this screen to actually look at. We have tiles. I won't lie. The choice to tile so extensively down here instead of around the ERP itself remains one of the more baffling, if however ultimately benign, curiosities to be encountered. If only just for the sake of saving some time having to scrub out the tracks of mud so frequently. And over here we have a bunker. Emergency exit of the maintenance bunker. Strangely, none of the codes we were given for the keycard seem... There comes the rain. None of the keycards seem to work. I was able to gain access I was never able to gain access to the systems within from the station computer. Furthermore, despite clearly being an identified structure that barely as conspicuously appears on the station's schematics, the very existence of it is completely unmentioned in any of the previous missions, AARs, whatever the hell that is, which is odd given their meticulousness otherwise. So this is what it looks like when it's raining, and just to show you, like, I can't even see where the menu bars are up here. So if I want to change anything, like the audio levels, it's not happening. It's not fucking, I can barely even see that I can enter this bunker. I don't know the code for the door. Was that knocking? Could have been. Well, that's good. I'm glad I can show off the rain. Let's head back to the station. So I was trying to find the station in this shit, and it gets worse. By the way, if you want to see your watch or anything, you cannot see your fucking watch. You can barely see this goddamn thing. I think I was trying to find the trail cam in this too. It wasn't happening. Let's go inside. Maybe this will clear up my vision. I hope so. Module initialized. Validating access. User identified. Alright, we gotta go and take off our clothes first, and then we're gonna get deloused. You may not see the place where the after action report. That makes sense, that kind of stuff. Thankfully, you won't see these hot and sexy nudes. Alright, let's initiate washdown. Please clear off my screen, for the love of God. Are you fucking kidding me? What the fuck, man? How is my screen still like this? This is not acceptable. This is not acceptable. Is there any way I can just wipe off my face? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I see. Can I... Here's the effects. Can I turn off the rain effects? For the love of God. Okay, there's an arrow over there. I was all, what am I doing here? Okay, that's good. Lindster... I don't think that's working. I don't think that's working. Oh, that's going through my color palettes. Okay. Cool. Uh-huh. Visual feedback on password entry. What the fuck? This is... It's definitely a design choice. I'm not sure if they meant it to be this way, to be honest. Well, since I kind of want you guys to be able to see the game, let's go ahead and just Alt F4 this sucker, and we'll just run in there while it's not fucking raining. Because you should see it anyway. We're not going to really miss much. I think you can go straight in there without messing with the trail cam. I guess we can take a look. Secure computing solution. Also, these things don't do anything. These are probably other levels or something? Other scenarios? I'm not sure. I do like how we have some sort of Linux or Unix operating system there. You'll see stuff like dmessage, and we have a knit. Right, I can't see shit. Alright, let's just head straight down to the station while we can fucking see. One thing I'd request in this game is just the ability to move faster. Maybe some visual indicators, some accessibility options for people that, I don't know, are not calibrated to black and white vision, just for interactables. Because I'm sure there's stuff I'd like to look at, but I can't see. Yes, yes, camera traps. No one cares about that shit. We're going to head over to the place. That's what I'm saying with this game, though. It feels like there's just a lot to explore, and you'll see once we actually get into the station. Like, there's something going on here. We have some sort of bunker with knocking going on. I feel like I might have to play this multiple times just to figure out shit. There was a highlight. Oh, there was? fuck. Let's turn that on. There we go. I'm not sure why it made the screen darker. Oh, currently not implemented. Lethal looks at the camera. Guess I'll go fuck myself. Yes, you said that before. Let's go inside. It's not your fault. You were helping. Validating access. User identified as you. Alright, let's go through the... We have to go through this, you know, I might as well show you. I have to change out my clothes first. So let's go ahead and change out our clothes. There's that hot and heavy pixelated titty action you've been looking for. Go ahead and jump into the delousing chamber. So I'm not sure if we're on an alien world or if there's some sort of cataclysmic event out here or what's going on in this video game. But we're at some kind of research station. Examine poster. Look, I'm glad. See, this is why I had to come back. Because you wouldn't be able to fucking read any of this shit. Algorithm for entry and decontamination. You can look at all of that. There's sterilizations. Because it required. Undress subject, undress self. If you need to wash someone else. There you go. We also have like... We have an exchange chamber there. It's kind of hard to see. Alright, so let's put on some different clothes. That puts the stuff in there to wash. It's just me now. I guess there's a couple of things around here that might warrant some attention. You won't be able to highlight them, though. Hell, right now, all I want to do is take a shower and go to sleep. The rest of it can be damned, at least until tomorrow. I can barely maintain a cogent thought at the moment. Yeah, there's lots of stuff to look at in here. The washing machine. Never underestimate the luxury of having a washing machine. It was a lesson that T and I learned very quickly during our first years here. Although, I guess back then, that could go away. The problems and the priorities were reversed. Cursed wood. Excuse me, what? I didn't read a lot of this when I was playing off camera because I wanted to save it for this. Now that I think about it, I don't think we were able to come to an agreement on which between the sweat dump mire of this cursed wood or the populated scorch of the arids was gentler of the two hells. I guess the proper answer is that we should be thankful, at least that we were never sent up north. Apparently north is even worse. Alright, so we have everyone's desk. Let's start at Rebecca's. Oh my god. R's workstation. By morning, there was nothing left. Not on the main drive or on the aux. Not even in the cold box. No entries, no data, no docs, no logs of any kind. Somehow, even her credentials had vanished from the server. Every entry and scan login instance. Not a single trace of any record that would indicate she was here to even begin with. Let alone that could offer the implication of motivation. I've yet to report her disappearance. Part of it, I must admit, despite how utterly pointless it is at this point, stems from some residual sense of professional reluctance, knowing how internal, apparently, some part of the company will probably construe this. The other greater part is how I don't know how to make of it myself. Given everything that's happened, it's difficult to imagine some greater conspiracy compelling enough to inspire desertion under such conditions. Beyond simple despair, I find it difficult to blame her, and yet I still find myself resenting her decision. It's tempting to call it cowardice, but in that temptation lies an uncomfortable realization that it's really me who's the coward. And that's my own obstinacy, and if I'm being completely truthful, my own mounting despair that's the true target of this pathetic accusation. All of this for what? A stray radio wave tumbling about in the darkness? Is that... It was here before us. it probably still would be here long after us. Yet, only one of us is left, me. Maybe she was right after all. Maybe our work here is really done, although that would be out of line with the, title of the video game. Clearly, she was sent back in time and died here. That's why her current existence is being erased. Oh, I see. Now it all makes sense, all. It's not too late. There's still time to call in yet another extraction. Salvage what we were able to accomplish, more than that which we had lost. Pack up, turn around, go home. If I could just bury the wretched pride of mine, maybe the best thing I can do at this point for all of us is to live. So that there may be a witness. Let's look at, I think that's L's workstation. The phone is sitting on top of it, so I can't see. Oh my god, look at all this text. It's been almost a month since she disappeared. L, whoever that is. It feels like it's been so much longer. She's always struck us as as particularly meticulous in her methods, even by our combined standards, and we're super meticulous ourselves. But it wasn't until she was gone that, well, when we were going through her logs, attempting to salvage something, anything that could give us a clue to the nature of her disappearance, that we realized the full extent of it. There were hundreds of entries, many of them numbering in the thousands of words in length, filled with the reams of information as equally dense in detail as they were spiraling in breadth of coverage. A truly prodigious volume, for just much like these text volumes I'm reading now, for even the most digital human handwriting under the normal circumstances. So she hand wrote it? Doesn't, like, they don't have computers? We spent days going through them, and yet barely managed to cover even a quarter of the amount. As we read, questions began to emerge almost immediately, many of them disturbing in their first implications. First and foremost, when did she find time to write this? Most days, she was out with T doing field work, and when she was back at camp, it wasn't as if she was particularly reclusive. Stranger still, there are at least a dozen entries detailing at length things that cannot possibly be collaborated within our current environment. Yet, which she wrote about as if she was observing them firsthand. And yet, most striking, perhaps, and sobering, thing of all is that even in her later entries, in the midst of what we believe at the time is the onset of full-blown psychosis, she retained an astonishingly unwavering degree of precision and diligence in her articulation that makes what happened to her that day feel all the more unsettling in its inexplicability. Despite our best efforts, or her best efforts rather, I found little that offered any further clarity in what she claims to have witnessed. Just a pale figure, a staircase in the midst of the trees, a man's voice beckoning. It feels like we found a staircase. We didn't see any pale figure or men. We heard some knocking. What we got on this whiteboard before I go back to reading everything? Double-sided whiteboard, indistinguishable from the kinds you'd find in any other office setting. Difficult to believe that any of our people could have, or would have, for that matter, rucked something like this all the way here. So it's like rucksacked, I guess. I've never heard that used as a verb. Although, who knows? I suppose you can never really be sure these days. More likely not, one of the CPC teams probably left it during the evac. Why are they evacting? I don't know. Supposedly the first team we sent in after it left was told to just smoke everything they found in here that wasn't mission critical. But I guess, for whatever reason, they made an exception. Whatever the case, though, it's been unexpectedly useful. I'd hazard a guess that our heightened appreciation for it stems more from the improbability of having it here at all than any particularly astounding intrinsic properties. But I mean, come on. It's just a whiteboard. Who cares? Well, apparently you did to say all those fucking things about it. And this is T's workstation. A bramble of wires, cables, ties, or cable. Maybe there's supposed to be a comma in there. Bramble of wires, cables, ties, a sword, electrical detritus strewn about the surface of the table. She was working on some kind of modification to a field receiver before, well, the troubles. I keep on telling myself that she's still somewhere down in the basement, because we do have a basement here, that she must have somehow just slipped through the cracks of. I don't even know. I don't fucking get it. One moment she was there, and then the next, well, it happened so abruptly. It's like with Elle. I'm ashamed to remember that some part of me back then remained skeptical of T's account. Excuse me. I probably should be drinking for this. Having experienced it now firsthand myself, and I won't, elaborate for the viewer or player, relative composure in retrospect seems almost heroic. It might sound callous, but I almost wish he had just died. At least there'd have been a body to recover, something to which to actually bear witness, a kind of bleak consolation in the obvious finality of it. But instead, all I have left in here, all I'm left with is the absence so abject that refusal to allow definition that I find myself needing to play tricks on myself just to be able to confront it. This is very verbose, and it's on the edge of pretentious, some of these fucking things, to be honest. Conjuring up all the manners of explanations and speculations that I know would be terminally inadequate, excuse me. The only way that I can think of to think through it is falling back over and over to the simple and stupid reassurance that we've gotten through so much worse in our years together, that there's no way that this is how I lose her. I tell myself that the observatory is still right there, that I can still go back. I can try to look for her. At the very least, bring her stuff back. Or bring back her stuff, rather, instead of letting it rot in the darkness. She would have done the same for me, I know. But if she really is still there, somewhere, she would have found a way to contact me somehow. I already know that it's been too long, and I'm too late. There's no more of us now either, just me. Let's take a look in that basement. We've done a lot of fucking reading. I want to go look in the basement. Because the basement's over here. Feels like we might find her down here. Let's take a look around. We have some boxes. Pile of cardboard boxes. There's even stuff that looks like it dates back to the CPC's occupation of this place. You got technical manuals and schematics, either maps, some earlier maps rather, of what appears to be the area when we were first building the installation, whose geographic features are only barely recognizable via the accompanying texts. Ultimately, though, nothing leading anywhere as far as answers go. Fantastic. We have a tarp. It's a fantastic plastic sheet. There it is. Got dirt. Good. A generator. Some kind of fancy reactor that's, just your garden variety reactor. The CPC originally designed for the use on extraterrestrial missions. So we are on some kind of planet that adapted to accommodate remote installations on firmer grounds. Apparently, it can provide a station like this enough energy to run in an acceptable capacity for something crazy like a century without maintenance. I'll readily admit that I haven't the faintest idea of how it works, or what to do if something were to go wrong. But hey, fingers crossed, it's kept the lights on so far and the water hot, so I can't complain. Yeah, so what are we doing here on this place, though? We got crates. Let's see, long expired trays of eggs meant for the incubator. There's an instruction manual at the bottom for setting up and maintaining the farm. Let's take a look at the farm. Why not? That there apparently is the tarp. It's not some shelves. We also have an oven. But yeah, we have an incubator. A pretty standard, if fairly low-tech incubator chamber where meal flies eat and burrow and breed, do all the stuff that occurs in the lifespan of one of these things in order to produce eggs, which we then separate and sort into bins that become larvae. Sometimes these places had to light my phone. Sometimes in these places, there's a chute built above the chamber that allows you to dispose of organic waste products directly into it. But we did not have that luxury here, so instead we have to manually carry down the excess compost and mix it ourselves. I don't particularly mind it, actually. I like to watch them grow up. And sorting them out is fun, too. I don't know much about them, but there's a certain calm to it. It's how I meditate. At the bottom of it, below the layer of food substrate, there's a mesh bottom so that the eggs and babies fall into the bins of the drawer underneath. Every once in a while, we take the bins out and put them up on the shelf. So here's our variety of shelves. We have stage 3. You can see that there's meal flies and their poopal forms in there, so they can be pooping. We watch the newly emerged ones wiggle their wings as they come out. Breathtaking. Stage 1. They're in their egg forms. Pretty much might as well be babies. They're pretty damn tiny. And we also have stage 2, which have the mature worms. These are the ones that we harvest directly and eat. Because we're in space. They're pretty funny looking, although, well, if you look at them too long, it makes my head hurt a bit for some reason. If we were here a little longer, we would be rotating them out per their life cycles, but our mission isn't long enough to warrant that. As always, we have enough food stored in excess, so we don't really have to rely on them too much. Still, I like to come down and look at them from time to time. Think how tasty they might be. That's how we sift out the stuff, the substrate, and the things. This is where we cook our crap to make nice worm pastries. Apparently, that's what we do. We make worm eclairs full of worm stuff. That's what I'm thinking. Still, I hope that you've been able to appreciate there's a little more to this game than we initially realized just wandering out in the fucking forest. How long have we been playing this, by the way? I'm going to go ahead and do 2 more things. We're going to look at the last workstation, then we're going to go to bed after a shower. My workstation. What use it serves anymore, or why I still bother with it, I have no idea, but I found myself returning over and over again to my duties, even now. Checking on the emplacements, logging reports, and even rereading old ones. I don't know what it is I'm looking for at this point. Maybe some sign, I don't know. Of what? I'm even less sure. At the very least, I can now admit that there's a certain comfort to it, a rote repetition and routine of it all. Hairline fractures, I guess. Comfort's not the right word. Evidence is what it is. An indication of where things could have gone so fucking wrong. Something with which I indict myself. The possibility that one of us, that I, missed something obvious that continues to haunt me, even though I can never find anything to corroborate that suspicion. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being dramatic. At the very least, it's a way to pass the time until extraction arrives. Make it feel like I'm doing something. That there's something left for me to still do. That there's work left to be done. Anyway, let's go take a shower. And then see what happens next. Oh yeah, the shower's over here. If I can find the goddamn door. You can take a poop. It makes poop sounds, if you're interested in those. I'll let you experience that on your own. I'm just going to take a shower, okay? It also is going to make shower sounds. We're going to have some time together. That last note on the desk of hers makes me think that you're supposed to replay this multiple times, try to beat out that rain, and try to find something out in this map. Like, that might be the entire game, and or I might be just chasing shadows. I don't know. You'll see what I mean once we actually get to bed. Because we are going to get to bed here in a moment. I'm going to keep experimenting with this game off camera. Because I think there's more to be seen. I think this game has a hidden depth to it. Like, I've seen this game on multiple people's, like, best lists for these demos. And I'm trying to figure out why. Like, what have I missed? I only experienced these demos for 30 minutes, and 30 minutes may not be enough to actually see what makes these great. Let's go to bed. I should close the curtain. Otherwise, someone will see me sleeping. There we go. Let's get in bed. Also, guard your ears. Why guard your ears? I'm just taking off my pants. Don't worry about it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. There it is. What does it mean? What does it mean? That is literally the end of the game. You get into bed, the game fucking ends. So there has to be something in that world to find. This is different. Oh no, maybe that's the lighthouse the she was talking about before. But yeah, like, we'll watch this particular scene and it just goes and it closes the video game. Like the entire executable here. Maybe there's something we can pick up from these scenes to try to figure out what to do next. I see someone's hands on our shoulders there. There's rain, like we saw earlier in this particular video or session. The rain might be connected. Maybe something changes in the rain. Maybe you can only find something in the rain. That particular background there looks like a screen that you can go to. I'm not sure about that one. That looks like some kind of lake. Maybe. I don't know. This game is so fucking bizarre. That's what makes it intriguing to me. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on in this cartoon? It's on them peninsulas. But yeah, that has been at least this cursory glance again. And my work is not yet done. Apparently your work is not yet done when you go to bed. You can go back outside. You do have to wait for the clothes to actually get done washing. It's fucking weird with that too. And it does take like 10 or 15 minutes. All I know because I was investigating the interior of that station for all that time. But maybe I've intrigued you enough to at least try out this demo for yourself. And you find something in this demo and you're watching on YouTube, fucking tell me some secrets that you find in this game, because I want to know about them. I have no idea what's going on in this cartoon. We're in space. There's some kind of fire tower here, from what I'm looking at. I've not found that fire tower on the map. It may not be in the demo version of this game. Maybe you can't figure out anything in the demo version of this game. I have no clue. There she is walking up to something, and then it goes fucking white. What could it be? A hole. There's a goddamn cartoon hole. And there's a sunset. Over the ocean. On an alien world? I don't even know. It said extraterrestrial before. Doesn't mean we're off of Earth. Also, we have this. Oh Lord, support us all the day long until the shadows lengthen, the evening comes, and the busy world is hushed, and the fever does things and stuff, and there's a fucking eclipse. And the game has closed itself. No, don't do it. I'm literally watching the developer go through the things now. The real crime is it opened up Edge there at the end. Who uses Edge in this day and age? I know who does. Mysterious JG, if you're watching. No.